Could it be also, sir, that because the stakes are higher? I think at this point, the stakes might be higher now than 2011 or 27, you know, but from what you've said now, you're telling us better equipment, a better force that's going to fight at least the Boko Haram issue will ensure some security. But I think that tension that you're talking about, will it be doused? DG has a few questions on security.
I just want to take you to
back.
The issue of the elections, I mean the postponement. You talked about, I want to basically talk about the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Your party has actually come out to say it has no confidence in him. I mean, it's based, at some point, it actually accused INEC and the chairman specifically of taking sides with the opposition. And of course, we have people who are very close to you who have come out to say Jega should resign and be arrested. I mean, a typical example is Chief Edwin Clark. And today, there's a story all over that there's every likelihood that Jega might be removed. The question is this: do you have confidence in Professor Tahiru Jega conducting the 2015 general elections? And are you contemplating any move at all to remove him?
How I wish this is a twin interview that Professor Jega himself had to do with us.
I'm sure he's watching.
I could have asked him to answer the question about whether I have confidence in Jega or not. One thing about politics, leadership generally, anywhere, is that when you're a leader, let us say maybe a governor of a state, been a governor before, you have a number of who support you, but you don't even know what they do or what they say. Maybe somebody has been making statements to advance your cause. The assumption is that person is close to you. Yes, that person supports you. Maybe you're a fan. And you know from your friends and your spouses, some of them may be my fans, some of them are fans of other candidates. I may not even know what they do. Somebody, a number of people used to tell me that, look, Mr. President, we've been watching their media adverts and so on, that the messaging from your camp is somehow confusing. There are too many messages that go out. And sometimes I call the people, and more than 80% of those who sponsor these messages, we don't even know. That's why somebody wakes up, they say, 10 reasons why President Jonathan should continue, and another person wakes up and say 1,000 reasons why. You don't even know that. So it's not what somebody says, whether that person is a fan of Jonathan or has been defending Jonathan. It's different from Jonathan.
So what does Jonathan
And if you
say?
ask Jega, Jega will tell you, I appointed members of INEC. INEC is a standing executive body defined by the Constitution. It is Mr. President that appoints every commissioner in INEC, both the national commissioners and the REC, the resident electoral commissioners, are my appointees. So if I feel that Jega is not good enough, for obvious reasons, then I can, by there are provisions in the Constitution that gives the person who appoints the power to remove. And I've not told anybody that I'm going to remove Jega. I've never said so. So you see, I think some of these things are creation by people for one interest or the other. They are just setting confusion. I've seen the whole thing about the suspension of the scheduling. I don't want to call suspension because it's always misunderstood. The scheduling of the elections. So there are a lot of people who are using that opportunity to misinform Nigerians and create this confusion. That's why the taxi cab told you that the person was confused. Well, if he maybe be listening to the radio in his car and people are talking different things, and sometimes people come on television to say certain things. Some of them are even university professors and are very senior citizens. And they make statements out of so much of ignorance. If a professor is saying something, how do another person say, that is a professor? What the person is saying must be true. But you who knows it, you know that it's just a statement that is very mischievous. Let me give you an example. That's not to do with election. There was a time long ago, was it 2012 or 2011? After our budget, there were issues of amount of money for State House. And one professor from one university in the Southwest, a private university, said, oh, he came to my house and that he just had the breakfast and later they called him for lunch and that there was one full turkey that was given. And those who eat with me know that I don't eat turkey. It's not as if I forbid it, just I don't like turkey meat. So I eat chicken but not turkey. So nobody has served turkey. But the man told Nigerians that there was one full turkey, a professor. So these are the kind of garbage information. People come, I watch some of these television programs in the morning and I feel sad. the level of misinformation that goes to the public, especially for the young people, and I feel sad. That is one aspect of this politics that makes me sad. Because people are supposed to be properly enlightened, properly informed, for them to take a decision as to who governs them at all levels, starting from the state assemblies, national assembly, governors, or president. But what we see is junk that is pumped in, and people will be confused, just like that's why your cab driver is confused.
I suppose that's why we are having this. We're hearing from the horse's mouth. I beg your pardon. Can I call you a horse for tonight? So we're hearing from the horse's mouth. So I think I can see that Ibanga is just waiting. Premium Times, you know, things are trending these days, and these are online papers. They understand these things.
The online people are...
Yes, they're very active.
Among the
that's the benefit of, you know, the telecoms, the growth in the telecom sector, I suppose. But, you know, Ibanga, let's restrict this to elections for now. Let's save security for later, right? Let's do the elections first.